growing with Grace, and we're so glad you did a ministry under Grace Baptist Church. And here, we're trying to get closer to the Lord. And we realize the social distancing by many people thinks that this will help. Of course, it's debatable. But sitting out on my left is Pastor Rudy Klein. He's the senior pastor of Grace Baptist Church. Hello, Pastor.
Hello.
Now, we are involved in a series, and this will be the last part of the series, called Men of Issachar. And our verse, again, is in 1 Chronicles chapter 12 and verse 32. Please let me read. And of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times to know what Israel ought to do, the heads of them were 200, and all their brethren were at their commandment. Now, men of Issachar, these guys are just a little sharper than others. And you know, sometimes it helps to have somebody that has an understanding of the times. Listen to this verse, Ecclesiastes chapter 9, verse 18. Wisdom is better than weapons of war, but one sinner destroyeth much good. So it's very important that your pastor, you, dear preacher, that you be a wise man, because a watchman is supposed to blow the trumpet to alert the people that danger is coming. Now, I think danger is coming. That's what Pastor and I are trying to do. We're trying to blow the trumpet that danger is coming, and what are we to do? Now, I'm telling you, some people think, well, the Lord's coming back, so why worry about it? I believe in a pre-tribulational rapture, but escaping the tribulation doesn't mean we escape persecution. It doesn't mean that the last days of this dispensation are going to be, you know, a flower garden, right?
Right.
And so we have to understand this, that other Christians in other centuries have paid a dear price.
Right.
Must others sail through bloody seas and us not go through it? So I think it's very possible.
Right. Before the Antichrist comes, we'll have a lot of difficulties, I am sure, because when the Antichrist comes on the scene, he will bring a lot of peace.
Yeah.
That means there has to be some kind of war or some kind of struggle.
Conflict, turmoil.
Right. Amongst nations.
Right. He is going to be a problem solver, just like Hitler was. Hitler was, Mussolini was. When Lenin first took over the Bolshevik Revolution, they thought it was going to bring in a tremendous peacetime to Russia. And of course, they killed millions.
Right.
So what we want to talk about is, like, what if the Lord doesn't come back for 5 years, 6 years, 3 years, whatever? Things are moving so quickly right now. I shudder to think what the landscape is going to look like in America, the Philippines, and other countries.
Right.
Like Cambodia, they've had pretty much freedom to preach the gospel. That may change. Philippines, it may change. And make no mistake about it, that's what they're after. Because you see, the mastermind behind all this is not Bill Gates. It's the devil himself.
Right.
And some of them, behind closed doors with cigar smoke going out the windows, they admit that their master is Lucifer. But that's only for the big boys. The people that work under them are idealistic, and they don't know what's going on.
Right. They think they're doing the world a favor by bringing in a lot of this technology and by perhaps depopulating the world.
Yeah.
And you know, if we don't have a lot of poor people, well, then we would have less problems.
We'll have more food to feed what's left.
Right.
It's like these same people, they justify killing babies. You know, if you can kill a baby with a good conscience, you're a monster.
Yeah.
And listen, I didn't stutter, right? If you can kill a baby and you can justify that, you can do anything. Now they have homosexual marriage. I mean, these people, I mean, of course the word for this, by the way, in Romans 1 is the word reprobate. That God turns them over to a reprobate mind. And listen, when a person has a reprobate mind, there's nothing that they can't do. Their scruples are gone. Their inhibitions are gone. And so we are living in dangerous times. So what are we supposed to do? As Baptist preachers, our ministry could change. If your church is used to running 500 or 1,000, that may be over. Our ministry is going to change. In fact, many Christians, like in China, cannot do open door knocking, open evangelism. Vietnam, same thing. They cannot do it. So we're going to find out. Turn to Daniel 11. I want to show you some things in Daniel chapter 11 that I think could be applicable to what's going on. Now, Daniel 11 is dealing with tribulational material. There is going to be quite a lot of people during the tribulation that, number one, get saved. Number two, are going to resist the mark of the beast. They're not going to take it. And that's why there's going to be widespread martyrdom. And the Antichrist, it's not going to be a walk through the daisies. Okay? It's going to be kind of hard on him to try to get. That's why he comes in on a white horse, then a red horse, then a pale or a black horse, pale horse. So he's got his troubles. Now I want you to watch this, and Pastor, you add comment as we go. Verse 32, chapter 11. Now again, I realize this is tribulational material, so hear me out. Verse 32, and such as do wickedly against the covenant, that's the people of Israel, shall he, the Antichrist, corrupt by flatteries. But the people that do know their God shall be strong and do exploits. So let me make two comments here. Number one, notice that politicians, they corrupt by flatteries, by making big promises, by, as Hitler said, you tell a big lie loud enough, long enough, people believe it. Okay, that's a quote from Hitler. So he comes in by flatteries. And then notice though, but the people that do know their God, that's you, me, shall be strong and do exploits. Now let me say this. I know this is tribulational material. But you see, Satan's methods are somewhat the same. What if that's what's going on right now? Then could we, as premillennial, pre-tribulational Baptists, can we learn something from this? You say, what do we learn? Okay, first of all, do we know God? Yes. Then we can be strong and do exploits. We can. And those exploits may be mission endeavors, spending more money on missions. It could be going to the street and witnessing to people on the street. In other words, soul winning. I think now's the time to get more involved in soul winning.
Right.
Because there are lost people that know there's something wrong. There is something going on in our country. Now may be the time, Pastor Rudy, for us to really hit soul winning pretty hard.
Right. Well, I agree, because this is the time when people are afraid to go out.
Yeah.
And if we're also, this is the opportunity to go to their homes, and of course we try to, we don't scare people, because when they see a stranger, they think we might carry the virus. But all in all, we need to find ways to reach people, because when the Antichrist comes, it will be over.
Yeah, we're gone.
We're gone. We're not going to be here to evangelize. And so that's why we kept on having church services, because we think that our time is limited to preach the gospel. This is the time we should try to do exploits, and by the grace of God.
We have to. And in other words, now is the time to pick it up. Now is the time to get more zealous. Then it says, and they that understand among the people shall instruct many. Now look at that. They that understand. See, not everybody understands. You see, you got some people, I'm telling you, their head is in the sand. It's like a lot of people have taken dumb pills. They just don't get it. What is happening all over the world? We've got students from the Congo, from Cambodia, from Vietnam, from America. Listen, we're listening. We got our hand on the pulse. This is weird times. Now listen, we need to be men of Issachar that have understanding of the times to know what God's people need to do. Right. And so we need to instruct. It's time to get more serious about our preaching, our teaching. Have more classes, send your preacher boys to Bible college. It's time to get busy, is what I'm saying. Right. And then it says, watch this, yet they shall fall by the sword, and by flame, by captivity, by spoil many days. Well, now listen, don't think I'm just blowing the whistle here. We may see some martyrs. I know this is tribulational material. That's the third time. But Pastor, there may be some blood that needs to be shed. Right. It could be you. It could be me. It could be one of these young men. We've got some fine young preachers at our Bible college. Who knows that we're going to have some martyrs.
Right.
And this is before the tribulation happened.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it is because the times call for Christians to stand up and be heard. And not everybody will like that.
Yeah,
there will be people,
right.
Even the government will not like it.
Right.
If we continue having services and the government says we cannot.
You put a bullseye in their back when you do that.
Exactly. And we're easy to find.
Right.
We're just here.
Yeah. They could squash us whenever they want. We know that. And then the next verse says this: Now when they shall fall, they shall be holpen with a little help, but many shall cleave to them with flatteries. Okay? So God's going to help us, brethren. If you get thrown in jail, maybe we'll be sitting there together. Remember what Dietrich Bonhoeffer said. He got thrown in jail. Another Lutheran preacher came to see him and said, Dietrich Bonhoeffer, what are you doing here? And Bonhoeffer said, the question, dear brother, is why are you not here? So we preachers need to hang together. We need to be strong. It's not every man for himself. No, we hang together or we hang separately. And then the last verse, verse 35, and some of them of understanding shall fall, to try them and to purge and to make them white, even to the time of the end, because it is yet for a time appointed. Okay, again, it's tribulation. But you know what I see here? I see that maybe here's a blueprint of how we have got to now step it up. While we can, Brother Rudy, we've got to step it up. Because right now, we still have a little bit of freedom. You know, we do.
Yes. That is right.
And here's what I've been told by guys that have been there, that when the government starts cracking down, now please listen, it's going to happen in a hurry. Did you guys see how quickly all this, social distancing and mask and stay at home, how quickly it happened? The fellow I talked to from Germany said when persecution starts, it's going to happen within 2 weeks. So you'll have like 2 or 3 weeks to prepare.
Right.
So I guess what I'm trying to say, Pastor Rudy and I, we're trying to get the word out that you Baptists need to be alarmed, you need to be concerned, you need to be men of Issachar that have understanding of the times of what the rest of us should do. And I hope you'll take this seriously.
Right.
I hope you do.
Right.
And I'm concerned too, let me just say this and I'll shut up. I'm concerned about my brother in America too. Because America, there's quite a few churches and preachers that are upset about this. It really is time. If we don't stand now, when will we take a stand?
Right. Well, this is the time to evangelize, it's the time to send out missionaries. Now, it may be difficult to do that because a lot of churches have, of course, we are still not allowed to assemble, although we do assemble. But offerings are down and,
Right.
people are not able to come to church. Now, that means we need to do the best we can because we're low on supplies, on people, and, before the Lord comes back, hopefully we can be able to do exploits and win a few more souls.
Amen.
So, but the important thing is this. The important thing is, am I prepared to meet the Lord? Are you prepared to meet the Savior? Because if you don't put your faith and trust in Jesus Christ, you will never be prepared.
Right.
That is why we want people to be ready, and we want Christians to be ready. Because, like Pastor said, when persecution comes, we need to be prepared for that. And so the best preparation is number one, to make sure that you know Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And second, make sure that you are doing His will, serving God, witnessing to other people so that they can also know about the Savior. Amen. And so we'd like to invite you, if you get the opportunity, to visit us at Cita Grande, Iyang, Lucena City. We're always here having services, even though there's a COVID. We continue to have services here at the church, and so hopefully you can join us next time to the next edition of the Throne of Grace. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Praying for you.